of the World Sickle Cell Day, we reflect on the theme for this year, Shine the Light on Sickle Cell Disease. We commend all of the organizations, both governmental institutions and non-governmental entities, as well as the scientific community and private individuals around the world, who stand shoulder to shoulder with us, taking bold steps of progress to reduce the suffering of individuals and families affected with sickle cell hemoglobinopathy. We indeed look forward together with optimism to that day when the sickle cell mutation will be corrected and sickle cell disease definitively eliminated.
Our goal and our mission at Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation is to reduce the burden of sickle cell disease in Nigeria and to improve and enhance the quality of lives for the many living with sickle cell disease in Nigeria. We will do this through improved awareness, education, access to testing, counseling, and collaborations that allow us to reach many around sickle cell disease. Join us as we work on reducing the burden. Nigeria has a high burden of sickle cell disease with 100,000 babies born each year with sickle cell disease. It's all of us involved to get that number down, increase awareness, increase testing, and work to improve the quality of lives of those who are living with sickle cell disease.
June 19th is a date set aside globally to create awareness and to sensitize the public on sickle cell disease. Since inception, Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation has been at the forefront of observing this day, aimed at creating awareness among the populace to reduce the scourge of this disease. Also, taking care of people living with SCD through provisions of their routine drug, empowerment, and taking care of their special needs. Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation also provides quality laboratory testing to enable members of the public interested in knowing their blood type.
I have spent the last 35 years researching and bringing awareness and advocacy for the reduction of the burden of sickle cell disease in Nigeria. The World Sickle Cell Day is marked with awareness and education to the public, be they in schools, in churches, in marketplaces. The aim is to empower the youths to be able to determine their genotypes early in life and have informed decisions made when they need this later in life. Those who are affected are also need support. Therefore, we spend this day to bring advocacy for the support of those living with sickle cell disease. Nigeria holds the first position with the highest burden worldwide. Therefore, a concerted effort is required to bring this burden down.
I am a pharmacist and a professor of pharmaceutical chemistry. I am currently the treasurer of Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation, SCHAF, where we promote awareness and care of those affected by sickle cell disease. With the cooperation of the affected, caregivers, and crusaders against this disease.
From an early age, I've been very aware of the sickle cell disease. This was because my mother, Professor Oluwatoyin Nwafor, was a crusader of sorts. She taught us early about the disease. She taught us the science behind the disease, your genotype, knowing your blood type. But she also taught us empathy about how to really think about the impact of sickle cell disease on these patients and how she could help. She was always passionate about helping improve the outcomes for these patients and also raising awareness of the disease across Nigeria. This has inspired me as an adult to be part of this cause, really joining forces with Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation to help reduce the burden of sickle cell in Nigeria. So today on World Sickle Cell Day, my hope is that every boy and girl, every man and woman living with sickle cell disease in Nigeria feels a sense of hope that they will have better outcomes, hope that there will be awareness about the disease to prevent it from spreading even further, and care for patients who are living with this disease.
On this World Sickle Cell Day, it is important for us to create the awareness people about the disease and how we can prevent it. But first, let me talk about the Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation, of the great things that the foundation is doing to reduce the pain and the problems that people who have the disease are going through. But more important than that is the fact that they offer genetic counseling, which can help us in ensuring that we reduce the number of people that have this kind of disease. So let us get the message out to everybody that through genetic counseling, we can reduce the number of people with sickle cell disease and even totally ensure that we don't have any more of those cases.
SCHAF is a non-governmental organization that is focused on reducing the burden of sickle cell disease in Nigeria. As many of you might know, Nigeria happens to have the highest burden of sickle cell disease in the world, leading to significant challenges, complications, and morbidity, not only for patients with sickle cell disease, but also challenges for their families and loved ones. In celebration of World Sickle Cell Day on June 19th, first is awareness to educate the general public about sickle cell disease and prevention. Second is care, which is to support and empower and help implement better care modalities for people living with sickle cell disease in Nigeria. Third is research, to collaborate with institutions across the globe around sickle cell research that helps improve the outcomes of patients with sickle cell disease.
The SCHAF Foundation is involved in supporting sickle cell sufferers with living with their condition in an effective and efficient way, helping them with the physical ailments attendant, as well as any other economic and social supports that they can offer. And we also help people, members of the public, to understand their genotype, so that this will help them make the right decisions, so that we don't bring more sufferers into the world. Nigeria has the highest burden, the highest number of sufferers of this disease, and duty behoves us to continue to help them to be more effective members of the community. We know the devastation that this disease wrought on people, and so what we are trying to do is to help them, to support them in every way that we can.
Nigeria carries the highest burden of sickle cell disorders, SCD, worldwide. SCHAF is creating awareness and educating the general public about the challenges of SCD and how with informed decision they can reduce the burden of SCD on their families. SCHAF is also advocating for support for sickle cell sufferers in Nigeria.
The foundation has done a lot of wonderful work and has been known worldwide, acknowledged, and is now turning a lot more attention on how to reduce the scourge of sickle cell disease. As you're all aware, individuals that suffer from this condition and real great pains indeed, misery. The family is burdened by bills, and the country as a whole cannot cope with the burden with a small budget. It's imperative that this burden be reduced in Africa and across the world. And the foundation is hoping, if we're taking this advantage of this World Sickle Cell Day, to appeal for partnership, people who will join us in educating the public, creating awareness, educating the public, and also encouraging and sponsoring genetic counseling for everybody.
The 19th of June has been set aside by the United Nations as the World Sickle Cell Day, a day for raising awareness on sickle cell disease. As a hospital pharmacist with more than 30 years of experience, I am familiar with some of the health and psychosocial challenges, such as missed school days, missed work days, stigmatization, strained relationships, and caregiver burden. This is why it is very important to create awareness and educate communities on how to support affected individuals and their caregivers. Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation encourages people to know their genotypes and thereby make informed decisions. SCHAF also encourages empowerment of affected individuals so that they can achieve their dreams and also make their own contribution to the larger society. This year, I want to encourage you to partner with SCHAF to bring hope.
I work with Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation attending to complex wounds, which is a major complication of patients with sickle cell disease. The Hope of Life Foundation provides awareness, advocacy, and education to young people. This is done by telling some of the young people that they can make informed decisions when it matters on later on in life. The warriors are disadvantaged in many ways from the society and for the sickle cell disease that ravage their system.
Join us today, and together we can reduce the impact and burden of sickle cell disease in Nigeria.
You all have to join hands with us so that we can all together bring the burden of sickle cell disease down in Nigeria. Thank you.
Join us as we work on reducing the burden.
Let us all join hands with SCHAF in its efforts.
We are using this opportunity to advocate for support to reduce the benefits of the sickle cell disease in our society.
Please join me in encouraging and supporting the mission and vision of SCHAF.
So please join forces with Sickle Cell Hope Alive Foundation so that together we can help reduce the burden of sickle cell.
We will win the war against sickle cell disease.
Go for genetic counseling, before you get married. That way we can reduce dramatically the number of people who have the disease.
God bless you and a happy Sickle Cell Day 2021.